Hey, Ven, it's been a while. Are you doing all right? What, Michaela? Huh? What kind of reaction is that to me? Shouldn't you be a bit more happy to hear from an old friend of yours? Well, you should understand why I'd be reacting to you like that, but since you don't, that must mean you don't remember all that you did around me back in the day. What are you talking about? Ugh, do you have a reason for talking to me again? I'd really like you to hurry this up and tell me what you want. Oh, that's right. Well then, let me get right to it. Actually, I'm pregnant with your husband's baby. What? My husband's baby? Wait, who are you talking about? Oh, come on now. I'm talking about your husband, Haven. Corbin. What? Corbin? That's right. In other words, I got a very good taste of your husband these past few weeks, and I am now carrying our baby. Hold on a second. Michaela, didn't you get married just last year or something? You were going all over bragging about how you'd be getting married to an elite from a very powerful company based in LA, right? Whatever happened to him? Oh, you're talking about that? He and I broke up. Well, I should probably say divorced, but we weren't together all too long, so it just felt like a breakup. What? Why? Why did you divorce him after all that bragging? Oh, you don't know the reason behind it? The reason for that was because I started to go out with Corbin. What? I didn't want for my last man to start throwing a fit about how I'd be cheating on him, because then he'd want something like a settlement from me. So I gave him some fake reason and then told him I was leaving. And right after that was when I got into bed with Corbin. Well, I suppose that this time I'll have to pay you some kind of settlement, but that's where Corbin will step in and help pay it off for me. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that I am carrying his baby. I knew it would be something like this. How many people has it been now, Michaela? How many people has what been? I'm talking about how many people's partners have you stolen now. I happen to know around 10 people already that you've done that to. How many men are you going to steal from different women before you're done with that crap? Do you have any idea how many women you've gone and hurt already? And this time is the worst yet. You're talking about how you didn't even really steal him but slept with him and got pregnant while he is still married. You pull yourself together and stop being such a whore. Hold on. It's not my fault that I just so happen to be a very powerful woman. Huh? If you guys all don't want to be losing your boyfriends or husbands to me, then you have to become an even stronger woman than I am. That's all there is to it. What the hell? I have no clue how you're able to think of yourself that way. Oh my. So this is what happens when someone's about to be thrown away. I guess Corbin has good reason to push you aside now, and why he's decided to impregnate me. What the hell are you trying to do, Michaela? You married your last husband because of his money, but then got that divorce to come after Corbin? I honestly can't even imagine what your end goal is, or if there even is one to begin with. There isn't one, to be honest with you. The reason I stole Corbin from you is because I liked him and wanted his child. I only ever go out of my way to steal a man from someone else once I've started to like them. Well, if you want a word that describes it, let's call it my love instinct. Well, how about instead of listening to whatever love instincts you have going on there, you start to think about the ethics of what you're doing. Now, since I've gone and proved to you that I've stolen your husband, would you please take your sorry butt and move out of that gorgeous mansion for me? What? I can't believe it's already happening. I never thought I'd be able to get myself a man that would offer me such a wonderful mansion to live in. This is like a dream come true. Oh, and don't forget to divorce him when you get the chance. I don't care how much of a sore loser you want to be. Get that divorce so that you're not hampering my marriage to him. Jane, I'm expecting that a lot of this stuff will become very good evidence of Michaela having an affair, so I'm going to send you some screenshots of what she said. What's that? Haven, what's going on right now? Just a little bit ago, Michaela made it seem as though Corbin has been cheating. That's what she was saying, at least. That woman he's cheating with, Michaela, I've dealt with her in the past. And unfortunately, I don't think she's joking about what she's been saying. What? Why? It's a long story, but for some reason right now, Michaela seems to think that I'm Corbin's wife, which I'm not. And so I want to find out why she thinks that of me and learn a bit more about what's really going on with Corbin and her. Hopefully all of this benefits you in some way, and I'm sorry that this had to be brought up in the first place. Anyhow, I'm going to send you some screenshots of the talk we just had, all right? It'll be pretty long, but you should read through all of it. All right then, I'll be waiting for them. Wow, what the heck is going on with her? That's what I'd been thinking that whole time we'd been talking to one another. So, this Michaela is that same woman you'd been telling me about before? The woman who was with you in both high school and then in college and would go around stealing all of her friends' boyfriends? Yeah, that's her. I never had the misfortune of losing a boyfriend to her back then, but I never went out with any guys. I only started to go on dates and things after I graduated because that felt like the right time to wait for. But whoever thought that your own cousin would be her next target? But thank you for this. I had noticed some strange behaviors from him for a while now, and this bit of evidence will help me get started with my plan. Great. Well, do your best to end all of that, please. If you have anything you need help with from me, let me know, please. Thank you, Haven. I'll get back to you real soon on what happens next. Haven, thank you so much for getting that divorce for me. But of course, it was Corbin that went and did all the paperwork regarding the divorce, so we both just had to wait around forever while you took your time signing everything. But tell me now, why? Why haven't you left that huge mansion just yet? Actually, I was just told by Corbin today as he came rushing into my apartment that he had been kicked out of that mansion by you after the divorce. Could you hurry it up and leave that place already? My belly is only going to get larger and larger as every hour passes by, and I'd really like to spend the last bit of my pregnancy relaxing in that massive house. Oh, so the divorce has happened now? So you've gone and handed in your marriage papers at the courthouse, right? Well, that's great to hear. Huh? Congratulations. What are you talking about? If all you're going to do is just sit there sending me messages that make zero sense, then how about you use your time doing something productive like leaving that mansion for us? I am the one that's Corbin's wife now, and that means I'm one of the owners of that house. Oh? So you still haven't come around to understanding the situation you're in? What situation are you going on about? This mansion happens to be my house. What? Which means that this house is under my name. Huh? And before me, this place was once my mom's grandparents' house, which was handed down to me over time. When I was able to inherit the family company, I was also given this house. What? Also, Corbin is not my husband. He is my cousin. Your cousin? Hold on a second. But I've been inside that mansion there before. Corbin brought me along with him into that place, and there he and I made love to one another. A few times we've done that now, actually. Ah, and about that. The only reason he's always brought you here is because he's been living with me. Living with you? And as for Corbin's actual wife, she's out of the state right now for a while as part of a work transfer she was placed on. So while she's been out of the state and away from here, Corbin has been using up all his savings going out on dates with you while cheating on his wife. And, well, he used up too much of his savings and was no longer able to pay rent, which led to him moving in with me. What? And he's been here ever since, freeloading off me. I mean, he is my cousin, so I wasn't just going to kick him out and make him homeless. That's why I put him in a room on the other side of this huge house. So that's why you've been coming into my house and having an affair with him. So, the reason he and I have always been going into the house from one of the back doors is because I happen to be really, really good friends with Corbin's wife. So he was trying his very best to keep his cheating a secret from me. Hence, the back door was always your entrance, right? But once I found out from you what was going on, I made sure to prepare things to have him kicked out of here. Honestly, I'm sick to my stomach just thinking about how he'd been bringing you into my house to have sex. I know this is a bit overboard, but I'm hiring some pro cleaners to come in and clean out that whole room for me now. Hold on. In other words, this means I won't be able to live in that massive house? That's what this means. And as a side note, after what's happened here, everyone in my family is cutting ties to Corbin. So he will no longer be allowed back into my house or anyone else in the family's house for that matter. We can't go to anyone's house now? No way. It was my dream to move into a mansion like that and live out my life there. And that's why I made him get me pregnant. Well, that's a bit... I really shouldn't even say anything about that because I don't know what to say. So no comment from me. Hey, please. Do you think you can allow me to live in that mansion with you? Why would I allow that? Because I've just become your cousin's new wife, right? You'll help one of your own family members out, right? Like you did for Corbin when he was in need. I told you already that the whole family has cut ties to Corbin now. But I am pregnant right now. Right now is the most important time for me to be taking care of my body and this baby. So please, I'm asking you to let me come over to that house and live with you. Well, whether I was going to allow something like that or not, pretty soon I'll be out of this mansion myself. Huh? But that place is under your name still while you're gone, right? Why can't I come live there while you're gone? Because someone else is buying this property off me. What? You're selling the place? Yep. Why would you do something like that? Well, I started to want to sell this place after I realized that my freeloading cousin was bringing in another woman to have sex with pretty often, even though he already had a wife. Back when my grandparents were still alive, they were living here as well, and they had a lot of servers and house cleaners that would come keep this place clean and comfy for us. However, now it's just me here and on occasion my parents. So that's another reason we're wanting to move out. The place is way too big for just the three of us, and we can never get around to cleaning everything. So we're selling the house. I've already found myself the next house I'm moving into, and my parents will move in with me. The place isn't all too big, nor all too small. It's the perfect size for the three of us, and we won't have to worry about so many rooms anymore. Then I'm going to steal your husband then. Good luck with that. I don't even care if he has a lot of money or not. The fact that you've gone and ruined all my plans, I'm going to make you pay for it. And I'll do that by taking your husband from you and making him mine. And considering how nice of a body I have, that'll be so freaking easy for me. Well, you'd better be ready for the day he tells you he doesn't love you anymore. And like I was saying, good luck with that, because I don't have a husband yet. What? I'm still single. I have a fiancé though, I'll tell you that much. Then I'm going to steal that fiancé of yours from you. No, I don't think you will. We won't know until I've tried. You don't even have to try though to know the answer to that. He's with me right now looking at my phone as we have this little conversation. Huh? He already knows the true kind of person that you are. And right now, he's been sitting next to me going on and on about how impossible it would be for such a toxic and shallow whore like you to steal him from me. So there you go. Huh? Also, I don't think you're in the position to be coming after me now. Why not? You just got married to Corbin, right? And you also have a baby with him coming soon. There's also the thing about how Corbin has around $20,000 worth of debt right now. $20,000 of debt? I'm not sure how he got into that kind of debt, but it started to come up after he began to cheat on his wife with you. What? No freaking way. All of those things he bought for me on our dates. He did so with borrowed money? You'll both also be responsible for paying a settlement to his ex-wife. Huh? He still hasn't paid her any of that? You think he can pay that off when he's already in $20,000 worth of debt? For crying out loud! From what I've heard, the best way of getting that settlement paid off is to have them start taking money from your guys' income each month. So from now on, you both are going to have to try really hard not to spend any money and to work as often as you can. So that settlement, we have to actually pay that? While also paying off the debt that Corbin's already in? That's right. There's also the money he'll have to give back to his ex-wife for using some of her income to cheat on her while she was out of the state. That too? Well, yeah. You thought she'd let him get away with something like that too? Not a chance, and that's why you'll have to start helping pay that back as well. No way! What's going on here? Somehow, after all that had just happened, Corbin started to go ahead with a plan he told Michaela nothing about. He was planning to enter a new company where he had to go live on site, so the both of them ended up moving out of town together. As for Michaela's parents, when they heard about what she'd done this time, they couldn't take it anymore and told her sorry before cutting ties to her. There really is nothing else she can do now, so there's no choice for her but to stay with Corbin in the move. After having her baby, Michaela was able to get out of the house a bit and started to work a job herself to help with the debt. But only a few weeks later, and she put that baby of hers up for adoption. To be honest, that was the best choice for her baby's sake, considering right now both her and her husband are knees deep in debt still, and things haven't been looking too good for them relationship-wise. But this was the kind of life Michaela and Corbin brought upon themselves by cheating. And now they're going to have to make things work, or else their world will really begin to crumble around them. When things come to myself, on the other hand, I've been relaxing again with my parents at this new house we got while managing the family company. My fiancé is planning to move in with us pretty soon here as well, and when he does, the first thing we're doing is handing in our marriage papers. We're not going to have any huge wedding for this though, as to attract the least attention to us as possible. Because God forbid Michaela hears something about us marrying and tries to come all the way back here for my husband.
Joy, good evening. Your kid is 4 years old now, so they should be getting ready for preschool to start here pretty soon.
Good evening, Ellie. That's right, and the entrance party for it will be happening next week, actually. Honestly, I never thought the time would come for my little baby to have to grow up and start getting ready for something like school. And to think me, of all people, would get to experience having a child of my own and watching them grow.
Well, we are all in our mid-40s now, right? Back when all of us heard about how you had just gotten pregnant with your first child at the age of 40, we were all shocked. But it's great that after 5 years have gone by, everything's turned out all right with your kid, and there were no problems at all for either of you.
Well, thank you for mentioning that. I've still got plenty of years left where I'll have to be raising a child in the house, but I know that my husband and I were always dreaming of this, so no matter how old we get, we'll make sure to put all our energy into them.
Oh, that's right. I found out that my niece's kid will be going to the same preschool as your daughter.
Oh, is that right? Her name was Jessica, right? She's your twin sister's daughter.
Yes.
And this year, she just turned 20, right?
Yes, that's right. So, well, she had her baby at the age of 17, I think, and ever since then I really haven't seen either her or my niece any. And I haven't even heard anything about her boyfriend. A few people in the neighborhood I live in still seem to talk with her every so often, so I get all my updates about her from them.
I see.
Both of her parents ended up getting divorced, but you knew that already. However, they are both married again now, so things in her life have always been all over the place. I don't think Jessica has really even had a place to truly call home, and that's why for a while before she had her baby, she was always coming over to see me. But I'm thinking that after I started to worry a little bit about her being pregnant, she started to think of me as her annoying old aunt, and that's where our relationship really dropped off. I think she's even gone and blocked my number.
But at least you have people in the neighborhood who are still in touch with her.
That's true. I really am fortunate to have all of them around.
And once preschool gets going for my daughter, I'm sure I'll run into Jessica some, so I can tell you how she's doing.
Thank you, Joy.
Anyway, my bath is about ready for me, so I'm going to put my phone down now.
Sounds good. I'll talk with you another time.
Hey, I heard that you're 45 years old.
Pardon me?
I'm just 20 years old. That's very young to you, right?
Who is this I'm speaking to?
Just a little bit ago, you were talking with one of my cute mom friends, and the both of you exchanged phone numbers, right? Well, I went to my friend after that and got your number from her.
Okay.
So are you seriously 45 years old?
Yes, I am.
Did you come with your kid's kid today because they weren't able to bring them to the party or something?
No, actually, that kid happens to be my daughter. What? So that must mean at the age of 41, you gave birth to her? Giving birth to a baby at 41 years old? That would mean you gave birth while you were the same age my mom is now. The fact that a little girl has to grow up having an old hag as her actual mother is so sad. Poor thing. Considering you are way too old to understand what any of us younger moms are talking about, you are not allowed to become friends with any of us. Excuse me, but you are going on and on a little bit too much for my taste. How about you tell me your name first, before getting so caught up in what you have to talk about? Huh? Let's not talk about me becoming friends with you or not right now. First, I want to know about who I'm talking with and what exactly you're talking about regarding me being an old hag. If that's how you're going to talk about me, then I probably wouldn't even want to be friends with you all anyway. So, can we start by having you tell me your name and laying off that horribly rude attitude? Wow, such an annoying old hag. I might be annoying, but the fact that you're not giving me your name is pretty uncool of you. What? My name is Jessica. What? Jessica? Yes, and do you have a problem with that? For some reason, you're acting exactly like my old and stupid aunt, and that's really starting to grind my gears now. I'll make you pay for acting up like that around me. That's what you frickin' get. I came up right behind you without a single person noticing and kicked you square in the ass. I bet that frickin' destroyed your lower back. And watching you fall down after losing your footing was so wild. Oh my god. The fact that your little daughter came running to you screaming and crying, "Mama," was the cherry on top that I needed. Oh, how hilarious things have become. Oh, and another thing. I'm not very keen on you becoming a part of my friend group, but you are more than welcome to become my punching bag. Actually, that sounds like a great plan, all right? From here on out, I'm going to have myself an old hag as my stress reliever. Anytime I see you, I'll be coming your way with a punch or kick, so be ready for that. See you later, Grandma. Joy! Oh, hi, Ellie. I heard that you really hurt your lower back. Are you going to be all right? I'll be fine. I just pulled it a little is all, so there shouldn't be any lasting issues. I wanted to make sure things weren't broken there, though, so I went into the urgent care just to have it looked at. They had me transferred to the hospital because over time it became more and more stiff and I couldn't really walk anymore, so I'll be here for a few days. But don't worry, because by then I should be as good as new. Well, I'm happy to hear that things weren't all too bad for you, but having to be admitted to the hospital, all because of what Jessica did to you? Oh, I am so very sorry for her behavior. You don't have to apologize for anything. You weren't there, so what could you have done to change this outcome? I know, but she is my niece, and that means I take partial responsibility for her actions. Honestly, from what I'd heard about her these past few years, she hasn't been all that crazy. There have been a few times here and there where she's had outbursts, but for the most part, she's been working hard at being a young mom. But I should have never taken what everyone around me was saying about her for granted. So before things get any worse with her behavior, I'm going to do what I should as her aunt and put the fear of God into her. I understand you wanting to really punish her for what she's done, but it seems that my husband is going to handle things regarding what happened, so maybe take a second to calm down first. All right? I'll be fine. I don't want you or your husband to get involved in any more of this. You make sure to focus on having your back heal up and tell your husband to take care of your daughter, please. I'll stop by tomorrow afternoon to see you as well for a little bit. All right, I'll let my husband know. And thank you. Just don't get too carried away with her, okay? I'll try not to. Also, when the time comes that I need to talk with Jessica at all, can I please borrow your phone to do so? What? I guess you can if you'd like to use it. Excuse me? What should I say? The person that came to get your daughter today was a man. Was that your husband? If that's the case, then that man is way too good looking for such an old and wrinkled granny like yourself.
I know that women are pretty much useless after turning 40, but when it comes to men in their 40s, they are just getting started. I might have to take him from you now.
Just what I expected from you, Jessica.
Huh?
This is the end of the road for you.
What? Who is this? Saying things like that to a person who doesn't even know you is a bit too aggressive, don't you think?
I'm sorry for butting in on all the fun you were having there. I am your aunt that you've been avoiding for the past couple of years. Your Aunt Ellie?
What? Huh? Aunt Ellie? What's going on here?
Did you know that I've been best friends with the beholder of this phone number ever since high school? Her name happens to be Joy, and she is in fact a joy.
What? I knew that you both were around the same age, but you're best friends? Are you kidding me right now?
Right now, Joy is sitting right next to me watching all of this unfold on her phone. She was the one that allowed me to borrow her phone from her in order to have a word with you. Because you've had my phone number blocked for how long now? 4 years?
Okay. Aunt Ellie, I went and unblocked your phone number. Now what?
All right, thank you.
I would like you to stop acting all vague right now, though. What was all of this about? Because I'm telling you right now that I don't want anything else to do with you or Joy now.
Well, unfortunately, there's still plenty of things you and I have to talk about. So don't think you can get out of things that easily.
Huh?
Joy ended up having to go to the hospital.
She had to go to the hospital?
And she's been admitted into it.
What?
Because of you kicking her from behind, you went and hurt her lower back pretty badly. Luckily, she'll only be in the hospital for a few days as she has her pain managed and some therapy done to help the muscles. But it's going to cost her some money being there for a few days, and that will most likely not be cheap for her. So you are going to have to pay her a settlement for both those medical bills and for her time.
Huh? I have to pay her?
Well, of course. It's your fault she had to go to the hospital for this. You should be able to put together the pieces of this simple puzzle easily, Jessica.
I don't have the money to pay for all of that, though.
This isn't going to be something you can just get away with doing, do you understand?
But I don't have any money.
Well, I'm sure you don't. So don't be surprised that from here on out you will most likely be left for the streets.
Huh? What are you going on about?
Considering you only bothered to care about Joy's husband's looks today, you probably have no idea who he really is and what he does.
All I know is that he's really good looking for being in his 40s and most likely has money.
Jesus Christ. Then how about we catch you up to speed on what's going to be happening?
What are you talking about, Aunt Ellie?
Jessica, right now you're a single mother, right?
Huh? How?
The reason you were divorced was because you cheated on your husband. He ended up forcing you to pay him a settlement for what you'd done to him, and now you're paying that off little by little. You were then able to find yourself a small job within a small company and are now working as an office lady there, right?
Yes, but...
And the CEO of that company you were just hired by not too long ago, he happens to be the exact same man you were just calling hot, Joy's husband.
Huh?
Now you're all up to speed, right? Not only did you have no clue what the owner of the company you worked for looked like, but you also went and sent his wife to the hospital.
No way.
This is a very small world, isn't it?
How could something like this actually happen?
Well, it's actually happened, so you should know the answer now. Right now, the CEO is here with me.
He's with you right now?
So far, we've all agreed not to get the police involved because of the fact that you still have a very young child with you, and because you are still having to pay off another settlement. But within the company, you have been up to a lot of bad things, such as threatening other employees who don't do as you tell them, and also slacking off and leaving work early to go enjoy yourself. For the past year, I haven't heard anything really good about you from those that work with you and from those that know you as a friend. And now you've gone and assaulted the wife of your CEO while at a preschool with a bunch of kids around. None of that you've been up to is acceptable, and you will be punished for it. Tomorrow you will be spoken to in person about all that's to come. But just be aware that you have not been with that company for very long, and so the HR team has every reason to get rid of you for whatever reason they need to. So you will be getting 1 month before your fate is decided.
What? No! You're lying to me right now, right? Why? I can't be let go from the company this early. I already had to drop out of high school after becoming pregnant, and then I had a baby and had to deal with the divorce. Finding a job was so tough for me, and so when I finally got one, I was really thinking that things would work out for me. Things were really starting to feel good to me.
Then shouldn't you have started to take things more seriously, like the way you worked and the way you dealt with other adults? The fact that your reason for sending your CEO's wife to the hospital was because you didn't like how old she was and the way she talked. That kind of a reason isn't going to slide in this world. And saying things like, "I don't know," will not help your case at all. Of course, even had she not been your CEO's wife, things would still end up the same way for you. Now, considering that you don't seem to have any idea how to behave like an adult, and are expected to be the caretaker of your own child, we've all decided you need to be put under watch. So the whole family has decided that you will come to live with me now.
What?
Luckily, at my house, you will have people like your fairly strict uncle and your very strict aunt, as well as both of your cousins who are now becoming adults themselves to deal with.
No!
We are going to make sure that you get your act together and that you are held very responsible for everything you've done thus far.
No way!
After all of that, a few days passed before I got my settlement from Jessica that paid for all my medical expenses and the time she took away from me. She was fired from the company she was at sooner than expected by my husband, as he couldn't forgive what she had done to me. But luckily, she had a very well put together aunt watching over her, so she was able to help find her a new job pretty quickly. And with how things are back in her aunt's home, she really has no freedom there, and if anything, her baby is getting more freedom than her. After about half a year had gone by, I went over there to see Ellie and everyone, and that's when I got to meet with Jessica again. I was a bit nervous at first, but I was shocked to see she had started growing into an adult. As the first thing she said to me was sorry before asking me how I've been doing. It seems that for the past 6 months, things like having to work all the time and not having any time at home to mess around, Jessica was forced to pull herself together. And so we can all now say that she's settled down a lot and is less abrasive to be around. I'm hoping that the next time I see her, she's even more calm and we can talk a little about what happened back when she kicked me down. A lot of things had happened with her at such a young age, so I really don't want to hold too much of that against her if I don't have to. And since both our kids are the same age, I think that as long as things go smoothly in the future, we can become close and friendly mothers with one another. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story. Eric, are you there? We need to talk. Why did I only get $5 for this month's child support payment? What's going on? You promised to send me $200 a month. Are you in some kind of trouble? This is your duty as a father, so I'd appreciate if you'd stop screwing me around and actually pay the amount you said you would.
Sup, Joanne? I'm guessing you checked your bank balance.
Duh. Why do you think I'm messaging you? We might have been divorced for 5 years now, but that doesn't change the fact that you're Fonzie's father, and it doesn't change the fact that you have obligations to fulfill to him. If you don't start fulfilling those obligations properly, you and I are going to have issues.
No heckin' way. This ain't fair at all. It's not like I'm the one raising Fonzie, is it? Why should I give you all that money for him when I'm hardly even involved? I only see him a few times a month. It makes no sense for me to pay that much.
Excuse me? Are you for real right now?
To be honest, I thought it was bullcrap from the get-go, but I ignored my better judgment and carried on paying the full amount for years because I was scared you'd stop playing games with visitation rights. But you know what? I'm not going to take it anymore. $5 a month is more than enough child support money. You're the one who divorced me. Raising the kid is your responsibility.
Oh my God, Eric, are you being serious right now? Like, are you actually being serious right now? You genuinely believe $5 child support a month is enough?
You dumb? This ain't a question of whether it's enough or not. This is a question of why the heck I have any obligation to pay you child support in the first place, considering you're the one who divorced me.
I divorced you because you cheated on me, you doofus. Jesus, do you want us to drag all that old crap up again? Besides, the child support money isn't for me. The clue's in the name. It's for Fonzie. He has a right to that money. You're supposed to be paying $200 a month in child support to fulfill your obligations as Fonzie's father.
What's the point? If you're the one who spends it, I don't see how it's helping Fonzie. You're just using him as a tool to get your grubby mitts on my cash.
What am I supposed to do? Give it to him? He's 7 years old, you idiot! You've been paying me the money into a bank account I made especially for this purpose for the last 5 years. I spend all of it on Fonzie with utmost consideration for his needs at all times.
I wonder, are you really telling the truth? I'm not convinced. You hear stories all the time about struggling single mothers spending all their kids' child support on themselves. It wouldn't surprise me one heckin' bit if that turned out you were doing the same thing. Single mothers are all the same, after all. Everyone knows you're a blight on society.
Wow, because that's not prejudiced. Jesus, Eric, you're unreal. Fine, if you don't trust me, how about I show you my receipts? I've been keeping everything just in case you ever complained about this exact kind of thing, so if you want to see them, I'm ready.
I ain't got the time to look at your frickin' receipts. Do I look like a bank clerk? Look, the bottom line is, the child support payments will be going down to $5 a month from here on out. That will be all.
Oh, no you don't. Wait a sec. You don't just get to decide the conversation's over when I'm not done speaking to you. We made an official agreement at the time of the divorce, so you don't have the right to reduce the payments without my consent. You sent me another $5 again this month. Eric, you seriously need to cut this crap out. If you insist on continuing with this absurd behavior, I'll have no choice but to take extreme measures.
What's that supposed to mean? You wouldn't be able to take an extreme measure if it hit you in the face.
Oh, you really think so? Well, then go ahead and try me. It means speaking to my lawyer again and having it arranged that the money be taken from you through other means, such as, I don't know, having it seized directly out of your salary.
Directly seized? Sorry, babe, but that ain't gonna happen.
What makes you so sure?
That's a personal question, and a severe invasion of my privacy, so I'm sorry, Sugar Tits, but I can't answer that.
You have a warped view on rights when you can't answer a simple question, but have no issue with denying your son the right to his child support.
Like I said, I'm not the one raising the brat, so you should be grateful you're even getting $5.
If there are circumstances making it difficult for you to pay the full amount, then you should just say so. If you have something going on in your life that can't be helped, then I'd be willing to consider a temporary reduction. But we're never going to go anywhere if you keep playing these stupid games with me.
Circumstances? Nah. It's plain sailing on my end, babe. The bottom line is, the child support payments will be continuing at $5 a month forever. See ya.
Hey, wait! Hey, Joanne, it's been a while. It's Eric's sister, Anna. Huh? Anna? I hope you're doing okay. Sure, I'm alright. I hope you're doing okay, too. Things sure were chaotic back while the divorce was going on. Thanks so much for having my back then, babe. You really have no idea how much it meant to me. It's fine, really. The whole thing was all my idiot brother's fault to begin with, so of course I was gonna have your back. Anyway, about why I messaged you today. My idiot brother wouldn't happen to have done anything else idiotic lately, would he? How do you mean? For example, anything to do with the child support? Well, actually, now that you mention it, God damn it. I'm impressed. You always were pretty darn perceptive, Anna. Would you mind telling me exactly what he's doing? All right, well, starting last month, he took it upon himself to reduce the child support payments to $5 a month. $5? It was supposed to be $200 a month, right? Right. Up until last month, we never really spoke at all, but he'd been paying me the full $200 on time every month without issue.
Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he boldly declares that he's reducing it to $5 a month without going through any official procedures, without going through my lawyer, and completely without my consent. Wow, I see. Did something happen on your end? How did you know something was going on? Well, I'm not sure exactly how to tell you this, but here's what happened. I'm not sure whether it was my mom or my dad, but anyway, up until recently, one of them had been dragging my lazy-ass brother to the bank every month. That way, they could confirm beyond any doubt that he was, in fact, paying the child support like he was supposed to. Wow, really? Yes. Damn. So they've been going out of their way to help me behind the scenes these last 5 years? I feel kind of guilty. Wait, what do you mean until recently? Well, my mom and dad were involved in a car accident the day before last month's child support payment. Oh my God, no way! Are they both okay? They're a little scratched, bruised, and shaken up, but there's no danger to their lives. They're both staying in hospital for the time being, but the doctors are pretty confident they won't suffer any ill effects from the accident. Phew, well, I'm really pleased to hear that. However, the problem is, my mom and dad being stuck in hospital beds means there's no one to supervise my idiot brother and make sure he paid the child support. I'd love to help out if I could, but I live a long way away with my husband, so it'd be difficult for me to take over in my parents' absence. I see. So Eric's sudden $5 a month declaration is actually him taking advantage of the situation with your mom and dad's car accident? I'm so sorry, Anna. I know this is probably the last thing you needed on your plate. Whoa, now, take that back. You don't have a thing to apologize for, babe. I finally understand what's happening now. Thanks so much for letting me know. Oh, don't mention it. Anyway, as for what we do next, my mom and dad said they want to speak to you about something. Huh? Me? What could it be? I can only apologize in advance for the inconvenience, but would you mind heading down to the Herbert Hoover General Hospital to see them on your next day off? I'll cover your transportation costs and your hotel if you need to stay the night. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about that. I can cover everything. Eric won't be at the hospital when I arrive, will he? No, of course not. All right. Well, in that case, I'll head down to see them on Sunday, and they can talk to me about whatever they want then. Sunday? All right. Got it. I'll let you know my time of arrival closer to the day. Great. Thanks a bunch, Joanne. Sorry again for the trouble.
Hey, Joanne, remember how you were bitching and whining about my $5 a month child support contributions? Well, it just so happens I have some good news to announce. I'm willing to bump it back up to $200 a month. If you marry me again.
I take it that means you'll only be putting $200 into the household every month?
You're working. What's wrong with that? $200 is more than enough.
Not even close. Be honest, Eric. The only reason you're messaging me with this crap is because you got fired recently and are currently juggling several part-time jobs in an attempt to make up for the massive blow that got dealt to your income.
Huh?
Besides, you're nothing but talk. It's always the same with you. I bet you'd stop contributing even the $200 once you got comfortable.
No way. That's not true.
How can I trust anything you say? Your word means nothing ever since you broke your promise on the child support and took it upon yourself to drop it down to $5 a month. I mean, why did you get it? You're in a desperate financial situation and will stop at nothing to claw back any money you can. You used your parents' car accident as an opportunity to reduce the child support payments to the paltry sum of $5 a month. Now you have the nerve to say you'll bump it back up to $200 if I remarry you? Does your arrogance know no bounds? Was this the plan all along? To try and make me suffer by cutting the payments before giving me an in to get the money back by marrying you again so you could leech off me and do nothing around the house all day just like the good old days? I'm sure that had your plot succeeded, you would have done your utmost to force me to work more hours than ever before to fund your pathetic, worthless existence.
No way. It's not like that.
There was just one little problem with your master plan. I make far too much money for cutting the child support to make me desperate enough to marry you again.
Seriously? Huh. Wait a sec. How the hell do you know so much about my situation?
Wow, you noticed. Maybe you're not as much of a pea-brained moron as I thought you were. Anyway, you'll have to excuse me. I just arrived at the hospital to visit your parents.
What?
I'm with your sister, Anna.
What the heck is going on?
She told me all about the situation with your mom and dad, and suddenly your crazy behavior surrounding the child support suddenly makes perfect sense.
Oh my god. What the heck? You're all ganging up on me behind my back.
Stick your child support payments up your ass.
Wow. Really? You mean I don't have to pay?
Yep.
Like, seriously? Like, really, really, really?
The downside is that you'll never see your son Fonzie again. But as long as that's fine with you, we can go ahead with 0 child support.
Sure. Yeah, that works for me. Okay. Let's do it. Yeehaw!
Understood. Your mom and dad will fill you in on the rest.
Woohoo! Talk about hitting the frickin' jackpot. My life is about to get so much easier. Hey, bitch. Is that what you meant by me not having to pay child support anymore? My goddamn parents agreed to give Fonzie my frickin' inheritance money in return? Give me back my money. Now.
It's not your money anymore.
But it should have been mine. It belonged to me originally. Tell Fonzie to waive his right to the inheritance.
It's too late, Eric. The procedures have already begun.
Not my problem. Undo it. Now. Tell Fonzie to relinquish his right to the inheritance now.
He's a 7-year-old child.
Age has nothing to do with this, bitch.
Why not use this as an opportunity to self-reflect instead of swearing at me like some demented old man? This obviously would never have happened if you hadn't been such a blithering moron that you thought it was actually acceptable to reduce the child support payments to $5 a month.
Yeah, my money. My money!
Anyway, don't you have bigger things to worry about right now?
What are you talking about?
Isn't the young girl at your workplace filing charges against you for stalking her?
Huh?
I got a phone call from her parents explaining how the middle-aged dad at the milkshake cafe where their daughter works has been following her home and loitering outside their house with a pair of binoculars every day. They were worried taking you to court and potentially having you thrown in jail might have negative consequences for our son, but I assured them you have nothing to do with Fonzie and that my fiancé has plans to adopt him soon.
What? Your fiancé? You've been cheating on me this whole time?
I met him after we divorced. Don't lump me in the same category of a scumbag as you.
What, did you just call me bitch?
This is the last time we'll ever speak, because I'm going to block you very soon.
Huh?
I kept you unblocked in case we ever needed to discuss Fonzie, but it looks like there's no danger of that anymore.
Hey, wait, no.
Like I just told you, I have plans to get married soon. An irritating jerk making my phone blow up with notifications is the last thing I need on my plate when I have a wedding to plan. If you desperately need to discuss something with me, you're welcome to contact me through the lawyer we used during the divorce.
Joanne, you listen here, bitch. Who the fuck do you think you are?
All right, I think it's time to block you now. Apparently, Eric tried to launch an assault on his mom and dad's hospital ward after that. But they could read their son like a book, and they'd already requested that hospital security refuse him entry in advance. Hilariously, he walked away gritting his teeth after vainly huffing and puffing at them until the hospital director came out and threatened to call the police. Unbeknownst to him, Eric's dad had been going through the procedures to sell their house ever since he found out about the stunt he pulled with the child support. By the time he found out, the house was already sold. With that, Eric was officially homeless. However, he still had a major problem. He had to come up with the compensation he now owed the girl he'd been stalking at work. In a stroke of miraculous luck, he managed to land himself a job at a factory where the manager agreed to let him live inside a storage shed on the premises. It may seem like things were going surprisingly well for my ex-husband, given the circumstances, but that was where his luck ran out and his nightmare began. It turned out the factory he landed a job at was notorious for exploiting its employees. He's currently working like a dog to pay back all of the debt he owes. Last I heard, his power-tripping manager only lets him sleep in the shed for 4 hours per day, forcing him to work the other 20 without breaks. I know it sounds rough, but look on the bright side. At least he's too busy to bug me anymore. It really is true what they say, huh? What goes around comes around, so be nice, folks. Beatrice? What the hell was that stunt you pulled at the funeral? How could you act like that when your husband just died? I get that you're probably not in a good place emotionally right now, but there is no justification for shouting out, "His inheritance is finally mine," in the middle of the ceremony. And what the hell was that maniacal laugh you did afterwards? There are some things you just don't do. Well, would you look at who's preaching at me? You've got some nerve, Yasmin. If I'm not mistaken, the only reason you married my son Denzel was for his money. You're no better than me. We're practically in the same boat here, so how about you get off your high horse and drop that disgusting self-righteous attitude of yours? I promise you that is not why I married Denzel. Now I've heard it all. Playing the innocent good girl is easy, but it's obvious what you were after when you look at how much you've gained by marrying him. Not only are you now the wife of a company president, but he also gave you an executive position. Convincing my son to marry you not only landed you a high-status husband, but also a high-status job. And you've got the nerve to preach at me. I'm just a plain old stay-at-home housewife. You make me look like an amateur. I should be asking you for tips. Ugh, will you just listen to me? I'm telling you, it wasn't like that at all. You literally couldn't be more wrong. I got promoted to managing director of the company before we got married, and it had nothing to do with my relationship with Denzel. I was already a manager when we met, for crying out loud. Quit making hurtful accusations based on nothing but speculation. Anyway, quit trying to change the subject. Fine, point taken. Okay, dear, I admit it. Boldly proclaiming my right to my husband's inheritance in front of everyone at the funeral like that was tactless and immature. But when I think about how before long I'll be the proud owner of $2 million, I just can't contain my glee. Huh? Wait a sec. $2 million. As in $2 million. We'll be discussing the inheritance with the lawyer soon, right? You have no right to lecture me on this when you're not in line to inherit a single cent. Sure, I wasn't Frank's legal heir, so I get it's not really my place to get involved, but with the way you behaved at the funeral, I just had to say something. How about you get a grip and show some respect? That was Frank's, your husband's funeral. Would it really have hurt you to have shown some respect for the deceased? How do you think he'd feel if he knew you were after his money all along? Do you have any idea how disgusted everyone was with you? I don't know how else to tell you this, so I'm just gonna say it. The entire family despises you now, so I think you should proceed very carefully from here on out. Who cares? They're just jealous that I'm about to inherit a cool $2 million, and they're gonna be left broke and penniless by the wayside. Getting upset over everyone's petty complaints wouldn't get me anywhere now, would it? Beatrice, won't you please just listen to me? Won't you just try to understand what I'm saying here as your daughter-in-law? Frank was loved by a lot of people. Surely you can understand why they might be shocked at you bragging about your inheritance at his funeral. Surely you can see why it might not be wise to go around making enemies like this. You need to be careful. I'm serious. I don't know what might happen if you make any more careless, insensitive remarks like that. This could have serious knock-on effects down the line for you. Fine. Point taken. Is the sermon over now, Vicar? Can I go home? Jeez, I'm so bored of your whining, I think I might actually keep my mouth shut in the future if it means being spared the self-righteous preaching. Wow. You have no intention of self-reflecting, do you? Fine, whatever. If the threat of my preaching is what it takes for you not to say outrageously hurtful things, then so be it. Please be more careful in the future. You really are the most insolent little witch I've ever met.
Hey, Yasmin. I decided to come home. I left things at my dad's house to my aunt and uncle.
Oh, good evening, Denzel.
I'm so sorry about today.
Why would you apologize?
I'm sorry for what Beatrice did at the funeral. I know she might only have been my dad's second wife and isn't my real mum, but in a sense, she was still there in the capacity of my mum. What with being my dad's wife and all. There's no excusing what she did. Even though you cut her off mid-cackle and remonstrated her for her despicable behaviour, even though you were forced to go around apologising to all of the guests at the funeral, She clearly had no intention of apologizing and didn't feel bad about what she did in the slightest.
Right. I just feel completely stupefied every time I think about it. You'd think the wife of a wealthy business owner would understand the importance of presenting herself well to the world and knowing how to conduct herself in public. I messaged her about it after, but she carried on being as arrogant and insensitive as she was at the funeral.
Her behavior at the funeral made it pretty obvious she only ever married my dad for his money. I mean, I guess I'd be lying if I said I didn't already know what kind of person she was before all this. But that little stunt she just pulled took my disdain to her to a whole new level. We're gonna have to keep our eyes on her for a little while.
You're right.
Hello, Yasmin. I'm going on vacation. Excuse me? Apparently there were a couple of guests who couldn't make it to the funeral due to a family emergency, so they'll be stopping by at the house to make their apologies and give their condolences shortly. Make sure you're home to receive them.
Vacation? What the hell are you playing at? Your husband's barely been dead a week. It's only been 3 days since the funeral. How insensitive can you be? Do you have no idea how inappropriately you're behaving, or do you just not care?
What do you suggest I do with all this free time I have on my hands?
Huh?
Thinking about my $2 million is a nice, happy distraction, and it puts a big smile on my face, but I'm not actually going to have it until the inheritance procedures are finalized with the lawyer. None of my friends, mostly the wives of CEOs and celebrities, are inviting me to social events because they think I'm grieving. To make matters worse, I can't even stay at the house because of all the gloomy, miserable people showing up to give their condolences. If I don't get a change of scenery soon, I might get depressed and kill myself.
Oh my God! Well, your friends are obviously mistaken because you're clearly not grieving at all. I can't even believe what I'm reading. Is there nothing but a big black hole where your heart should be?
Quit lecturing me and come to the house immediately. I've already left. I can't risk missing my flight.
Your flight? What the hell?
All right, toodles, honey pumpkin.
Gah! When are you going to stop acting like this?
Yasmin, is it true she went on vacation?
Yes. I have no idea where she's going or when she'll be back. She left without giving me any details. I've been blowing up her phone with calls and messages, but she's completely ignoring me.
God damn it. I really am sorry.
Why would you apologize to me, Denzel?
Because in the eye of the world, she is kinda seen as my mum.
Who cares about the eyes of the world? You're my husband. You don't have to worry about things like that with me. Don't sweat it. I'm unfazed.
Thanks, babe.
There is something I need to ask you, though.
What is it?
It's about the inheritance. Beatrice seems to think she's in line to receive $2 million. Is that true?
Excuse me? $2 million?
Right? I wonder where the hell she got that idea from.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
What in the Lord's almighty name is going on here? What the hell was that crap written on that will? It said all of my husband's properties and assets went to Denzel while he was still alive? And I, his wife, am left with nothing but a measly $50,000? The rest of his money was donated to a cancer charity. Oh, I can't believe it. This is the ultimate betrayal.
Yep, there you have it. You kind of just answered your own question, so I'm not really sure what to say. Seems like you understand the will perfectly.
What did you do? This is all the result of one of your cunning little schemes, isn't it, woman? I bet you've been planning this scenario ever since my husband was still alive, haven't you?
No, the will has nothing to do with me.
What happened to the $2 million I was supposed to inherit?
Yeah, about that. I never really understood how you managed to convince yourself you were in line to inherit $2 million. Would you mind explaining?
What is there to explain? Isn't it obvious? I heard his first wife got $2 million, so I thought I'd get the same. Why would he pay his current wife less than his ex?
Huh? By his ex-wife, do you mean Denzel's mother?
Who else would I be talking about, bird brain?
Ah,
I think I understand now. Where the hell did my $2 million disappear to? Your $2 million is already gone. Huh? What did you just say? How could my $2 million be gone? What does that even mean?
Denzel's mom manages a high-end burger joint in New York. Frank owned it, but she runs it. Apparently, the yearly revenue hit the $2 million mark just before Frank passed away.
Huh? A yearly revenue?
I'm guessing that's where you got the $2 million figure from. Oh, and before you get excited, the restaurant was left to Denzel's little brother and his wife, so you won't be getting that either. Basically, that $2 million you convinced yourself you were set to inherit didn't actually have anything to do with the inheritance at all.
Oh my God. Oh, this can't be happening. You mean my $2 million never even existed?
Yes, exactly. Still, you did get $50,000. That's hardly a small sum of money, Beatrice. Surely that should be enough for you.
$50,000 is nothing, you imbecile. It'll be gone before I even manage to pay off all my debts.
Huh? Your debt? Since when were you in debt?
I thought I was in line to receive a fat $2 million, so I started being a little liberal with my spending. I ate at luxury restaurants, replaced my entire wardrobe with branded clothing, and even started visiting a male strip club. And that's not to even mention my vacation to Hawaii and my stay at their best luxury 5-star hotel. How do you think I paid for all of that stuff? I went into debt, you idiot!
Wow. So are you telling me the total of all that stuff came to more than $50,000?
I'll be completely broke when I pay everything off. What are you going to do to fix this, young lady?
And why exactly would I do that?
Aha, of course! You're to relinquish your position as managing director at my son's company to me at once.
Excuse me?
Everyone knows corporate bigwigs get paid absurd sums of money to do nothing but laze around in their offices while barking orders at people all day. Even I, a stay-at-home housewife, could do that. Yes, that's it. The solution to my problems. With your salary, I'll have my debt paid off in no time, and before long, I'll be able to start spending money and enjoying my life again.
I can assure you, managing a company definitely isn't as much of a cakewalk as you seem to think it is.
Huh?
Sure, me being chosen for this job is unprecedented at the company with how young I am, so I guess an outsider could be forgiven for thinking it's not that difficult if someone my age can do it. But the only reason I made it this far is because I worked hard ever since day one. I made my way up through the ranks and did everything by the book. I certainly didn't make it to where I am through special treatment, and it didn't have anything to do with me being Denzel, the company president's wife. I earned my position through nothing but grit, determination, and hard work, and that's a fact.
Wow, Yasmin, there's no need to get upset. How the heck did you think I was going to respond to hearing my job being described as lazing around in my office while barking orders at people all day, after slowly clawing my way through the ranks by sacrificing my personal life due to constant overtime and overnight stays at the office for years to get it? It'd be weirder if having to deal with a crazy bitch like you didn't make me angry. Fine, point taken. You can keep your job. But you are going to have to provide me with some form of recompense for the unfortunate situation you've put me in. You'll spare some money for your mother-in-law, won't you, dear? I'm in a rather awkward position here.
For the situation
I put you in?
What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, don't you have your pension? Why can't you live on that?
Sure I do, but it's hardly much. I sure as heck won't be able to rely on it for the rest of my life. I need security, dear.
And why is that my problem? You can play the sympathy card till you're blue in the face for all I care. I'm not giving you a single cent. Denzel is the CEO now after inheriting the company from his dad. You are not, nor have you ever, been in any position to interfere with anything related to the company.
Surely if you put in a good word for me with Denzel, he'll be able to arrange some monthly payments for me to live on. It's not like I'm asking for much, just $10,000 a month will do.
Are you seriously asking for $10,000 a month from a company you have nothing to do with? Your arrogance truly knows no bounds.
Then what do you suggest I do? Would you see me out on the streets begging for handouts?
Would it really kill you to get a job?
Huh? A job?
You're still in your 40s. There's literally no reason you can't get a job and work like the rest of us. If you want to work at our company, then you'll just have to apply when we start recruiting again, just like anyone else would. You're not entitled to handouts or easy access just because of me and Denzel. On the other hand, there's also no reason you can't get a job there if you meet the conditions and make a good impression during the interview. So why not go for it?
Who the hell do you think you are, young lady? This is no way to speak to your mother-in-law, you condescending little brat. You should think more carefully before you speak. You're my daughter-in-law, and you and my son have a sacred duty to provide for me.
Actually, you're technically not related to either of us anymore.
Huh?
You were Denzel's mother-in-law, which I guess kind of made you my mom-in-law too. But what with his dad passing, you're nothing but strangers to us both now.
Well, I...
Also, the house you're currently living in belongs to Denzel now. If you want to carry on living there, you're gonna have to start paying rent.
Rent?
Based on the size of the place and the way the rental market's going lately, you're probably gonna be looking at least $2,000 a month.
$2,000 a month? Have you lost your goddamn mind?
If it's too much for you, I suggest you find somewhere else to live.
But I don't have any money.
It's been 10 years since me and Denzel met Beatrice. Ever since that time, she had the privilege of living a life of leisure and carefree luxury as a stay-at-home housewife on Denzel's dad's dime, without ever having to work once. However, her life of luxury and relaxation fell apart in an instant with the shocking and sudden passing of her husband. As expected, the $50,000 she did inherit immediately disappeared when she used it to pay off the debt she'd accrued after spectacularly convincing herself she was set to receive a tidy $2 million. In a desperate attempt to avoid working, she begged her relatives for money. But unfortunately for her, the whole family disowned her after witnessing her reprehensible antics at the funeral, and she didn't have a soul left in the world to rely on. When they suggested she go to the job center to try and find work, to everyone's surprise, she actually listened and, miraculously, actually found a job. She finally moved out of Denzel's house 2 weeks ago. Maybe you won't be surprised to hear she got into a fight with one of her coworkers on her first day at her new job. And with that, her prospects of carrying on there disintegrated. With that, Beatrice's attempt at reintegrating into society after 10 years flopped in an epic fashion. And she found herself once again lost, desperate, broke, and alone.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.